Fidelity Investments just released its first quarter 2026 retirement data. Nearly 1 in 5 American workers has borrowed money from their own retirement account. Most of those withdrawals were under $2,000. And most of them were used not for true emergencies, but for groceries, gas, and the everyday bills that paychecks can no longer stretch to cover. This video is going to show you exactly what that decision is really costing you, and the alternative that fixes the cash flow problem without touching your future. Let us start with what Fidelity actually found, because the numbers tell a very specific story. The average 401k balance fell 4% to $141,000 in the first quarter of 2026. The average IRA balance also fell 4% to $131,000. Both drops were driven by market volatility triggered by the Iran war, which sent major stock indices sharply lower in March. But here is the number that matters most. 19.2% of workers, nearly 1 in 5, had an outstanding loan against their 401k at the end of the first quarter. That is up from 18.8% a year earlier. About 2.4% of workers took out a new 401k loan in the first quarter alone. And hardship withdrawals, which allow workers to pull money out for immediate financial need, climbed to 2.5%. Kirsten Hunter-Peterson at Fidelity described the pattern she watches as the warning sign: workers taking more than one hardship withdrawal in a single year. That pattern suggests the withdrawal is not solving the problem. It is delaying it while making the long-term situation worse. The context behind these numbers is not surprising given everything that has happened this year. Gas is up 47% since February. Groceries keep rising. SNAP food benefits have been cut for 3.5 million Americans. And more than 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. When you have no emergency fund, the credit card is maxed, and the grocery bill comes due, the 401k starts to look like the only option left. Here is what most people do not fully understand when they borrow from or make a hardship withdrawal from their 401k, especially during a market downturn like Q1 2026. Every dollar you pull out during a market decline is a dollar that is not there when the market recovers. The S&P 500 fell 5.1% in March. Since then, markets have partially rebounded. The workers who pulled money out in March locked in that 5.1% loss, and their withdrawn dollars are not participating in the recovery. They are gone. Fidelity described it this way: pulling money from a retirement account during a downturn is like selling your house mid-move. You exit at the worst possible time and you no longer own the asset when its value recovers. For 401k loans, the cost is less obvious but equally real. The loan must be repaid, typically within 5 years, with interest paid using after-tax dollars. And here is the part most people miss. If you leave your job, voluntarily or involuntarily, the outstanding loan balance generally becomes due immediately. If you cannot repay it, the loan becomes a taxable distribution subject to income tax and in most cases a 10% early withdrawal penalty. For hardship withdrawals, the cost is permanent. The money cannot be put back. The tax-advantaged compound growth those dollars would have generated over decades is gone. A $2,000 hardship withdrawal at age 40 could represent $15,000 to $20,000 of retirement wealth that will never exist. That is the real price of a $200 grocery run on your retirement account. Here is the important part. The financial pressure driving people to raid retirement accounts is real. Telling someone who cannot cover their grocery bill to just not touch their 401k without offering a real alternative is not useful advice. The alternative is finding the money that is already available, currently being lost to costs that have quietly crept up, and redirecting it to the cash flow problem before the retirement account becomes the only remaining option. Most American households are losing $100 to $200 per month to a combination of forgotten subscriptions, overpaid services, and costs that increased without triggering any conscious decision to spend more. The average American pays $219 per month on subscriptions but estimates only $86. That gap, over $130 per month, is money leaving your account on autopilot. Open your bank app right now and look at the last 30 days. Find every recurring charge. Identify the ones you no longer actively use. Cancel 2 or 3 this week. That single action recovers real cash flow immediately without touching a single dollar of your retirement. Switching to store brand alternatives on grocery staples saves 30 to 40% per item on the things you buy every single week. Beef, coffee, canned goods, cleaning supplies, dairy, the store brand sitting next to the name brand is frequently made in the same factory. The only difference is the marketing cost baked into the name brand price. 1 month of store brand substitutions on weekly staples typically saves $40 to $80 without cutting a single meal. Using a gas cashback app like Upside at every fill-up recovers $5 to $15 per month with zero change to your driving habits. Combining errands into single trips reduces fuel consumption by 10 to 15%. Filling up on Monday or Tuesday saves 5 to 15 cents per gallon compared to weekend prices. Together these moves, subscription audit, store brand switch, fuel savings, can realistically recover $100 to $200 per month without touching your retirement account. That is the cash flow fix that keeps your grocery budget funded and your retirement intact. Here is the structural fix that stops this cycle permanently. Most hardship withdrawals are under $2,000. Most of the financial events that push people toward their retirement accounts cost between $200 and $800. A car repair. A medical copay. A broken appliance. A utility catch-up payment. $1,000 in a separate savings account, labeled emergency or buffer, eliminates the need for most 401k hardship withdrawals permanently. When the car needs $250 in repairs and you have $1,000 sitting separately, you pay it from savings, replenish the account over the following months, and move on. The retirement account stays intact. The market recovery happens inside it. And the next unexpected bill has somewhere to go that does not cost you your future. Getting to $1,000 starts with the cash flow you recover from the subscription audit and store brand switches. Direct every recovered dollar to that separate account until you reach the threshold. At $100 per month recovered, which is a conservative estimate, you reach $1,000 in 10 months. At $200 per month, 6 months. $1,000 is the number that separates surviving from starting to get ahead. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only. Individual results may vary. Please consult a financial professional for advice specific to your situation. The Finance Reset Toolkit and the Debt Defense System are both in the description below. The Finance Reset Toolkit maps your complete budget at real 2026 costs, showing you exactly where every dollar is going and where the cash flow recovery opportunities are. The Debt Defense System gives you the 30-day plan that turns every recovered dollar into guaranteed financial progress, without sacrificing the retirement savings you have worked years to build. Check the description below for all links. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Pocket Pilot Fina. And subscribe for daily money moves that actually work. Subscribe now, new money tip every single day.